that even the older GeForce 3 supported. But anyway, somehow Nvidia got away with it, and in the original lineup we had 3 cards, the MX460, 440 and 420. The MX460 and 440 both came with DDR memory and only differ in clock speeds, whereas the 420 was quite a bit slower as it only came with the slower SDR memory. The GeForce 4X MX460 has a core clock of 300 MHz and the 64 MB of DDR memory runs at 275 MHz. It has 2 pixel pipelines, 4 texture mapping units and 2 render output units. The GeForce 4 MX GPU is kinda like a hybrid between the GeForce 2 and GeForce 4. It was very highly integrated. It came with 2 integrated 350 MHz DACs for dual VGA outputs, as well as 2 GMDS transmitters for digital displays. It also comes with an integrated TV encoder, video processing engine, NVIDIA support, Lightspeed memory architecture 2, and AccuView anti-aliasing engine. Especially OEMs loved these video cards as they were very cheap and ticked all the boxes. There's a lot more to talk about, but for now let's have a look at the benchmark results and see what the performance is like compared to other video cards. Later we will continue the story by looking at prices to get a better idea of why this video card never had a chance. Okay, let's start with 3D Mark 2000. The red cards are from ATI, of course. We got the Radeon 8500, the Radeon 8500 LE, and the older Radeon 7500. The Radeon 8500 LE was priced similar to the MX460. The green cards are all from Nvidia, of course. We've got the older GeForce 2 GTS and the GeForce 2 Ultra. Then we've got 2 GeForce old cards, the TI-200 and the TI-500. The TI-200 is also priced very similar to the MX460. And then we've got the fastest card, which is the GeForce 4 TI-4200. This card was priced a little bit higher than the 460, but not much. It's around $20 more at launch. However, it wasn't available at launch. You had to wait a little bit. The MX460 is not too bad, and you can see it matches up nicely with the GeForce 2 Ultra as well as with the GeForce 3 TI-200. But look at the Radeon 8500, it's quite a bit faster in 3D Mark 2000. Let's look at the next slide, 3D Mark 2001. We can see similar results. However, now the MX460 is able to get a bit of a lead compared to the GeForce 2 and the TI-200. The Radeon 8500 LE is still in front, and right at the top is the TI-4200. Let's look at some games in Expandable. We've got the MX460 here, a little bit in front of the TI-200, but behind the Radeon cards and also behind the GeForce 4 TI-4200. In case you're wondering about the performance of the Radeon cards, back in the day, if you look at period correct reviews, the Radeon cards suffered from driver issues with old ATI basically. However, we don't have that issue anymore. We can use the latest and greatest drivers, and they are fantastic. Also using a very fast CPU, so the Radeon cards perform actually really well under we can see a similar picture. The MX460 almost catches up to the GeForce 3 TI-500. Once again, the Radeon cards and the TI-4200 are in front. We've got Evolver here. The MX460 is now behind the TI-500 and kind of on the same level as the GeForce 3 TI-200 and the GeForce 2 Ultra. And once again, the Radeon cards and the TI-4200 in the lead. In Quake 2 and OpenGL game, also the Radeon cards are doing really well. Here we've got the MX460, which is on the level of the TI-200, but behind the GeForce 3 TI-500 and the 4200. In Quake 3 we're getting a similar picture, the TI-200 and the MX460 and the TI-500, the TI-4200 Zero sound, nothing changes much, same picture really, the Radeon cards in front, even faster than the TI-4200, which is very interesting. and the MX460 offers good performance just behind the TI500. And in MDK2, also a similar picture with the GeForce MX460 on the same level as the GeForce 3 TI200, the TI500, the TI4200, and the Radeon cards are in front. And with another game, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, we're getting 50 FPS with the MX460, once again only beaten by the TI500 and the TI4200, and the Radeon cards once again very strong. And we've got some power draw results, and this is an area where the MX460 can shine under idle. Only 73 watts, and the only card that draws a little bit less is the Radeon 7500. All the other cards consume more power. Under load, we're getting a similar picture, although the MX460 now draws more power than the GeForce 2 GTS and the Radeon 7500, but all the other cards draw more power, so this is a very energy efficient video card. So looking at these results, the main competition for the GeForce MX460 included the older GeForce 3 TI200, ATI's Radeon 8500LE, which was simply a downclocked Radeon 8500, and the GeForce 4 TI4200, which wasn't available at launch, but it was announced and came out a little bit later. From what I could read in old reviews of these video cards, ATI saw that Nvidia had a pretty large performance gap between the high-end and mainstream, and they didn't have any mainstream card with DirectX 8 support. So they saw an opportunity there and launched the Radeon 8500LE, which had all the features of the full 8500, just slightly lower clock speeds. It was this move from ATI that forced Nvidia to make a third GeForce 4 Ti, which ended up being the TI4200. So the MX460 was surrounded by lots of options. At launch, you could just get the older GeForce 3 TI200, which was a little bit slower, however, it had full DirectX 8 compatibility. You could also switch to ATI, pick up a Radeon 8500LE, or you could wait a few weeks and see what the GeForce 4 TI4200 was like. Out of all these options, the MX460 was a poor choice. While the performance wasn't too bad, the lack of DirectX 8 compatibility made it outdated from the get-go, and it was too expensive for budget-oriented gamers and OEMs, which just went with the cheaper MX420 and 440 cards. Looking at comments from the press back in the day, the consensus was clear. NNTech, for example, recommended to stay away from the MX460 and wait for the TI4200. Tom's Hardware also recommended to spend a little bit more to get the TI4200 or try finding a GeForce 3 for a good price. All of this combined means that Nvidia didn't produce many MX460 GPUs, and this can be seen when shopping around on eBay. You will find a ton of GeForce MX cards all over the place, but the MX460 is actually not that easy to find. My MX460 was provided to me by Electromine. They have more in stock, and we have a 20% discount code. Details below in the description. This MX460 is Medium branded, but made by MSI and comes out of a Medium PC from 2002. It has a unique yellow header at the rear of the card, which connected to a front panel drive bay for S-video and composite video inputs. At the back of the card, we find two VGA outputs as well as S-video and composite TV outputs. The VGA signal quality is pretty good, and I would say it's higher than on a regular GeForce 2. Personally, I see the MX460 as the ultimate DirectX 7 and GeForce 2 card. It should work great in any Windows 98 retro gaming PC. It's faster than the GeForce 2 Ultra, which can be very difficult and expensive to obtain. It draws less power, has excellent VGA signal quality, and more advanced anti-aliasing options to make your old games look a little bit nicer. So this is the story of the GeForce MX460, a short-lived card that never really had a chance because it was surrounded by alternatives that were more future-proof and faster and also didn't cost much more. And that's it for this video, guys. I'm eager to hear your thoughts of the GeForce 4 MX cards. How did Nvidia get away with it? Did you get caught out thinking it was a proper GeForce? And what do you think of the MX460? Also, out of the cards we talked about, which one would have you gone for? let's say you had to buy a card, you couldn't wait for the TI 4200, what would have been your pick? And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon with another video. So guys, today we're looking at 10 video cards. I saw this auction on eBay a few weeks ago, untested, no returns, and usually I don't go for that because, I'd rather pay a little bit more and actually get something that works, but it was only 20 Australian dollars. I put the exchange rate for the other countries in the video. So let's have a quick look what's in the box, and I will go over every card in a bit more detail. So let's have a look at this card. I think this could be a very nice radio. Now if that card works, that would be awesome. Yep, it's a 9800 Pro. So yeah, hopefully that card works, but yeah, with these bulk purchases, you never know. Okay, here we've got another, that looks like a Radeon card. Let's have a look. No, it's a GeForce, an MX 4000 T64. Might be either 64 megabytes of RAM, but very likely it's a 64-bit memory interface. An ATI card. Let's have a look. It's a Radeon 9600 SE with 128 megabytes of RAM. Very likely also only a 64-bit memory interface. What have we got here? That might be 7000. No, it's a Matrox. Matrox G450 with 32 megabytes of RAM and dual head. So yeah, I've never actually had a Matrox card that didn't work. They are built quite sturdy, so we will find out soon. Okay, what could this be? Let's put it in the back. That's GeForce 2 MX 400 with 64 megabytes of RAM. Very useful, good replacement for the GeForce 256 in terms of performance. Hopefully it works. And we've got another Radeon that's got Sapphire written all over it. Let's have a look. It's 9250 with 128 megabytes of memory. And that one has a bent slot. So that's one of those half height cards. Another MX 4000.